A very good morning to all my dear children. So, let's begin today's class with the book exercises of lesson 10 India's Pride. As we know that this poem is written by Sarojini Naidu for those Indian soldiers, those who have sacrificed themselves at the First World War in just for the sake of their colonial master. They have not sacrificed themselves for any noble cause. It was just for the sake of the loyalty they have shown for their colonial master. Okay, and as this poem was written by Sarojini Naidu in 1915, and India didn't get the independence by that time. We got the independence in 1947. So, in this poem, she has made first, she has reflected the grief the mothers have faced just because they have lost their sons, and in the second phase, she has expressed the pride, the sense of pride that their sons have shown in the battlefield, the bravery their sons have shown in the battlefield. So, let's read this poem once again. And here in this poem, the poetess has requested to British ruler, as it was written in 1915, as I told you. So she has made a request to the Britishers also that they must pay a little respect. They must pay the homage to those Indian soldiers also, those who have sacrificed themselves just for them, for their sake only. So now, children, I'm going to play an audio of this poetry. I want you all to please listen it carefully and try to read or recite the poem in the same manner. Okay, just pay attention on the pronunciation of the words. So, are you all ready? Let's start with the poetry.
Is there aught you need that my hands withhold? Rich gifts of raiment, or grain, or gold? Lo, I have flung to the east and the west priceless treasures torn from my breast, and yielded the sons of my stricken womb to the drumbeats of duty, the sabres of doom. Gathered like pearls in their alien graves, silent they sleep by the Persian waves. Scattered like shells on Egyptian sands, they lie with pale brows and brave broken hands. They are strewn like blossoms mown down by chance on the blood-brown meadows of Flanders and France. Can ye measure the grief of the tears I weep, or compass the woe of the watch I keep, or the pride that thrills through my heart's despair, and the hope that comforts the anguish of prayer, and the far, sad, glorious vision I see of the torn red banners of victory? When the terror and tumult of hate shall cease, and life be refashioned on anvils of peace, your love shall offer memorial thanks to the comrades who fought in your dauntless ranks, and you honor the deeds of the deathless ones. Remember the blood of my martyred sons.
I hope, children, you must have enjoyed it, and we'll try to recite it in the same way as it was in the audio. Now it's time for the vocabulary. So let's learn the words, the new words that have been introduced in this chapter. Look at my screen, children. You can see the first word, that is ought. What is this? Is an old English word that means anything. Means whenever you want to say, you want to use anything in your sentence, you can use ought also. Or like I want anything for my birthday, so I want ought for my birthday. So in the same manner, you are making worry for means you become worried for anything. So you become worried for ought. So wherever you sense as anything, you can use ought. So ought means anything. Okay, now the second word is raiment. Raiment means clothing. Clothing, dress or attire, whatever means, जो भी ड्रेस आप पहनते हैं, जो भी कपड़ा होता है, that is raiment. Do you remember there is a brand also in cloth, raiment? with Raymond word. The spelling is different, but the word is pronounced in the same manner. So raiment means clothing. Okay. Now the next word is striken. Children, striken is the past participle form of strike. And strike means severely wounded. Severely means severely affected. When you get affected severely of something, so you are striken of something. In some other words that are similar to striken are hit or injured. Okay, now let's try to make some of the sentences like uh, striken, like the people have been striken of the COVID disease a few months before, but now the vaccine has cured them. Okay, same as he was striken in the last night accident. So whenever you say striken means seriously injured, okay, or seriously affected. So, what is the meaning of striken? Striken means severely wounded or severely affected. Now, let's come to the fourth word, that is severus. Severus is a heavily cavalry sword with the curved blade. It is simple, in the simplest way we can say that Severus is talwar, the sword. Even you can see it on my screen also. This is a Severus. So the other word for sword, a cavalry sword, is Severus. Okay, now the fifth word is flung. Flung is the past and past participle form of fling. Okay, and it means that move or push something suddenly or violently. मीन्स जब कोई चीज अचानक छोड़ दी जाती है, मीन्स व्हेन you give a jerk to do any action, whether it is your hand or a thing. Okay, when you throw a thing, so you flung that thing. Same as, like as you say na, the I flung the paper plane towards the ceiling. पेड़ पेपर प्लेन को उड़ाते हैं तो क्या करते हैं, यू थ्रो इट टुवर्ड्स द, so you that throw is flung. Same as when you catch a ball, that is also a flung. Same as children, like throw, catch, tossing, scattering. So all these actions are done with a little jerk, a little violence. So this action is actually flung. Flung is the another word for it. Same as we can say they flung their hats into the air. They flung their hats into the air. Okay, or right now what am I doing? I'm flinging my hand into the air. So this, what is this? Flung. Flung is the past of past participle form of fling, and it means that move or push something suddenly or violently. Now our next word is anguish. Anguish means the great agony or pain. Means when you have extreme mental and physical suffering. So that is anguish. Anguish, like the sudden death of his son has left him in anguish. Means बहुत ज़्यादा जब आपको दुख होता है, बहुत ज़्यादा, that is anguish. In the same manner, when you get hurt badly, then also you are in anguish. Like suppose you met an accident, and you had a deep cut in your hand, so you feel lots of pain, so you are in anguish. Okay, so in the same manner, when you have any mental pain, you are facing any mental suffering, so you start crying, you look a little pale. Okay, so what is it? So we can say that we can get the idea of her anguish through her face or through her eyes. Okay, now the next word is comrade. Comrade means the friends who work with you. That the other word for comrade, you can say the your colleagues or the fellow people, the fellow members who work with you. Okay, same as for soldiers also we use comrades. Okay, so basically comrades are what? The fellow members or the colleagues who work with you, the friends who work with you, they are called comrades. Here in the poem, the poetess has used comrade word for the soldiers. Our next word is dauntless. Dauntless means fearless, who fearless and determined. Instance, you can say who is not scared of anything. Like the Indian soldiers have shown the dauntless bravery in the battlefield. Okay, or same as the children who are given the bravery award on Republic Day, they show the dauntless bravery in their action. They show the dauntless efforts. That's why they get bravery awards. So dauntless means fearless, means when you are not scared of anything. So that is dauntless. Okay, now the next word is tumult. Tumult means the state of commotion when there is a lots of noise. So that is tumult. Means when too much means when a mass creates sounds, lots of sounds, loud noise that is not clear to you. So that is tumult. In simple way, simplest way, you can say that too much noise. Noise is not clear to understand what exactly is spoken out. Okay, so that is known as tumult. Okay, now the 10th word is strewn. Strewn is to litter or scatter. Like the street was strewn with the rubbish, or whether you can say that his room was strewn with the dirty cloths and the toys, or there were lots of many of the things were strewn in the park. Okay, or we should not strewn the things here and there on the roads. So strewn means the littered, or throw the things, or scattered the things. Clear? Now the 11th word is woe. Woe means a condition of deep suffering when you have too much pain. Woe and anguish, they are quite close to. We can replace the word with each other. So woe means too much pain. We can say that people are right now, those who have lost their dear near ones just because of this corona disease, they are in woe, and they are in deep pain, the great agony they are going through, under great agony. Okay, so that is woe. The last word is martyr. Martyr means the one who sacrificed himself for any noble cause. Means those who bested their life for the sake of any noble cause. Martyrs are not always means this title is not always given to the soldiers only. Anyone who sacrificed himself for any noble cause, that person is called a martyr. Okay, see, so this is the vocabulary of this chapter. Now let's proceed towards the book exercises, children. Exercise A. Your exercise A is answer the following question. What or who does the speaker metaphorically stand for? Metaphorically, what is metaphorically? When we make the comparison or consider a thing same as the other. So here this poem, who is the speaker in this poem? Our motherland, India, and she has been personified of with what? The mothers of those Indian soldiers who are dead, who are no more, who have bestowed themselves. Okay, in those battlefield. So, what or who does the speaker metaphorically stand for? The speaker is mother of sons who have died fighting in a war. The mother is metaphorically India, the poet's motherland. Okay, now what are the priceless treasures? Priceless treasures, you know now. Which treasures about the poetess has spoken out this poem? The Indian soldiers. So, what are the priceless treasures that the speaker has flung to the east and west? What is this flung? We have just done it. Flung means scatter or thrown. So the priceless treasure refers to the sons of India. Clear? So, what does the phrase drum beats of duty refer to? क्या मीनिंग है ड्रम बीट्स ऑफ ड्यूटी का है यहाँ पर? सो ड्रम बीट्स ऑफ ड्यूटी refers to the first world war in which the Indian soldiers were called to serve the British rulers by fighting for their cause in the foreign lands. Clear? Now, the fourth question is explain the line gathered like pearls in their alien graves. Alien, you know, na? That is unfamiliar. So, Indian soldiers who sacrificed their lives serving the British cause in the First World War and lay in graves in unfamiliar lands are said to have gathered like pearls in their alien graves. Here in the question it is asked that who have been called this pearl. तो किसको बुलाया गया है pearl? The Indian soldiers who are lying dead in the alien grave. Alien graves means their graves are on such a land that doesn't belong to them. That is not their nation. That is why it is called alien grave. Okay, if they have been given the place in the on the land of India only, उनकी grave India में होती, so that is not alien because India is their country, their motherland. But as they died in a foreign country, so their grave have been made on a foreign land, so that's why it has been called as alien grave. Our next question is why are the meadows of the Flanders blood brown in color? Children, Flanders is a place in Belgium. It is somewhere in Europe. Okay, so Flanders and France. Okay, some few more countries have been Persia, Egypt. These have been given in the poem. Okay, now why are the meadows of Flanders brown, blood brown in the color? क्यों हो गए थे वहाँ के meadows blood brown color के? Just because of the blood of the soldiers. So the meadows of the Flanders were the battleground of First World War. They have turned blood brown due to the blood of the soldiers who died fighting there. Their blood blended means mixed with the clay, turning them blood and brown. Okay, blood brown. Now next is why are the banners of victory torn and red? Here red is referring to the blood of the soldiers and torn means after lots of effort the victory has been earned. Okay, so the victory of the British would be achieved at the cost of the lives of numerous soldiers. The poet envisions the time. Envisions means ऐसा imagine करता है और पसंद करता है. The poet envisions the time when the peace would be established. She exhorts the country to remember the sacrifices made by the sons of the nation. Now next question is what does the speaker wish for in the end? What request the poetess has made in the last stanza? To have respect for those soldiers and made memorials in their respect, in their memory. So the same thing has been given in the question. What does the speaker wish for in the end? So the speaker wishes her countrymen to remember and pay homage to the comrades who sacrifice their lives and become martyrs for honoring their brave deeds. Now let's come to the B section, that is read the lines from the poem and answer the questions that follow. The lines you can see given in blue. Is there aught you need that my hands withhold? Rich gifts of raiment or grain or gold? Lo, I have flung to the east and west priceless treasures torn from my breast. Okay, who is the speaker here? Everybody knows the poetess Motherland. She has been personified as the mother to her brave sons. Now, what do priceless treasures refer to? Beta, wherever you see this priceless treasure, that means we are talking about the Indian soldiers. Okay, so what do priceless treasures refer to? Under what conditions has the speaker parted from them. Who is the speaker here? The motherland. Parted from them. The priceless treasure referred to India's brave soldiers who fought for British masters on the foreign soil. They were sent by the colonial master to foreign lands to fight their battles and had died there fighting the enemies. Children, do you understand the meaning of colonial? Colonial means when the one who is controlling your power and wealth. Means at that time, as India was under British rule, so Britishers were our colonial masters. Before then, the French or the Dutch have also ruled on India. So at that time, they were our colonial master. In the same manner, for time being, the India was under Mughal power also. So at that time, the Mughals were our colonial masters. So whosoever control the power and the wealth of a country, that becomes the colonial master. So here colonial master means we are talking about the Britishers. Okay, now where have the priceless treasures been scattered? Here they are asking for the lands, the places that have been mentioned by the poetess. So what are those places? Egypt, Persia, Belgium, for which the Flanders place have been mentioned, and France. Okay, as Flanders is a part of Belgium, so they have mentioned Belgium here. If you write Flanders, that will also be right. Okay, so Egypt, Persia, Belgium, and France. These are the places where they have been scattered. Now, next question is, how does the speaker want us to pay a tribute to the treasures of Indian soil? So the speaker wants her countrymen to build memorial of love by remembering them and thus pay a tribute to them for their sacrifices. Clear? Now let's move towards the next exercise, that is critical appreciation. Now this part we always discuss, we don't do it in the notebook. Clear? Now look at, make a list of 5 rhyming couplets used in the poem. So children, as we know that this poem is composed of even number of rhyming couplets. Even number of rhyming couplets means it has the rhyming scheme of AA, BB, CC, DD. And here they are asking for 5 couplets. Very easy. The first couplet is, the first 2 lines you can pick as one couplet. The second, the next 2 lines you pick up as second couplet. Then the next 2 lines. Okay, I'm reading. Is there aught you need that my hands withhold? Rich gifts of raiment or grain and gold. This is your one couplet. Both have AA, rhyming scheme. Okay, now the next. Lo, I have flung to the east and west, priceless treasures torn from my breast. So these next 2 lines, west, best, BB. Their rhyming scheme is BB. So this is second couplet. In the same manner, you have to find out 5 rhyming couplets. This is just for your knowledge, children. You're not going to do it in your notebook. It is just for your knowledge. Clear? In case if the question is given in the exam, so you must have an idea what to do in this. Now the next one, list 4 alliterative phrases used by the poet to emphasize her statement. Alliterative. Do you remember what is alliterative? The repetition of same sound, same letter. So here, very easy. You have to list 4 alliterative phrases. Now start searching in your book. The first one is rich gifts of raiment or grain and gold. GG sound is repeated. Gifts of raiments of grain or gold. Okay, this is first one. Second, pale browns and brave broken hand. The repetition of B sound. Brows and brave broken. Cleared? The next one is silent they sleep. S sound is repeated. Next, this terror and tumult of hates, TT sound. Okay, the rest you can find out on your own. Cleared? Now the next one is the poet enriches her language by the use of metaphors and similes. List two metaphors and two similes that are used in the poem. What are metaphors and similes? The figure of speech that are used to make the comparison, okay, between two objects. Okay, metaphor, what is the difference between metaphor and simile? Where metaphor directly make the comparison, simile uses the word like, as, or like. Now first we talk about the metaphor. Okay, so for metaphor, anvils of peace, drumbeats of duty. And for simile we can take gathered like pulse. Here like word is used, where in the metaphor anvils of peace is given, drumbeats of duty. While taking out the similes, we are saying gathered like pearls, still like blossoms, scattered like shells. So this like word is telling that here simile figure of speech is used. Clear? Now, a part of that, there is one creative writing also, children. If you want peace, prepare for war. You have to explain this, whether in support, in favor of, or against you. Okay, I want you all to please do it in rough notebook. Must practice once. Must try to write at least 5 to 6 line on this statement. If you want peace, prepare for war. Even then, I prepared a little matter for you. If you want peace, prepare for war. Children, if a country desires peace, it must have an army well armed and prepared to keep their country secure and safe, and to protect its citizens from those who desire to overtake it. Like if we take the example from the present scenario, so China is trying to overtake all the developing countries. Okay, so in that condition, a country has to be ready for war to maintain peace, the security, and the safety of their citizen. So the same thing has been spoken out here. And in the absence of the following, in the absence of the army, what happens? It is left vulnerable to attack. So to maintain peace in a country, it has to be ready for war in every way. Even Aristotle has also noted, children, we make war that we may live in peace. So, the war is not always for flesh and blood enemies. It is sometimes against evil and against evil spirits living in the heavenly places. Children, it is believed that peace is the absence of war, and it cannot exist without war. Means where there is a peace, the war exists. As I told you, good and bad, they both go parallel to. Just as death is a meaningless concept without life. Those who regard war as inevitable and in certain circumstances necessary, victorious, and preferable, they state that war and the threat of violence are the essential building blocks for peace and stability. Children, peace is a positive concept signifying harmony in the world affairs. Okay, those who like to write it on, they can write this statement, can explain this statement in their own word also. That's all for this chapter, children. I want you all to please must do that the writing part in your notebook. Don't leave it pending. Okay, that's all for today's, children. Have a good care of yourself. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.